Cheryl, thank you for joining me on GV Talks.
Oh, thank you, Harvey. Such a pleasure.
The first guest I've had on a Sunday.
I know. Sunday fun day.
What would you usually be doing on a Sunday?
Walking my dog, being at home, studying.
What's your pup's name?
Bonnie. She's like my child.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, she's amazing.
How long have you had her for?
4 years. Yeah, she's a rescue pup. We got her from Shep Pound, and yeah, she's just everything. She's so good.
Why did you pick a rescue dog?
It was my husband's decision, actually. He just we both decided we wanted to get a dog, and then I think he was off sick one day from work, and then he sent a photo of her, and we both just knew that was the dog we wanted. So we went to Shep Pound, went to see her, and yeah, it was funny because the lady at Shep Pound said, "Oh, we're not sure how this is going to go because she's really scared. She's come from a horrible background." And as soon as she walked out, she went and put her head on Michael's lap, and the lady at the pound was like, "She's yours. She's all yours," because she was just so comfortable around us. So she kind of chose us, really, which is nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so good.
Before we get too deep into it, do you want to let the Shepparton people know who they're listening to?
Yes, my name is Sheza. I am 33 years old. I am married to Michael and have Bonnie. We live in the GV area, and I've been in Australia for 8 years all up, and Shep area for 6. And yeah, I think I'm down to earth, kind, a little bit quirky, and wanted to start meditation Muse at the beginning of the year, just as a way of giving back to the community, really.
Yeah,
That's
great.
good. Yeah.
What inspired the trip to Australia?
A bad breakup in England. Pretty much, I wanted to get away from where I grew up for a little while. It was supposed to be a 6-month trip, and I was really excited because I had a job and an apartment to come to, and yeah, arrived in Australia in December 2011. Met my husband Michael the day I landed, and pretty much never went home. So yeah, it's good.
Do you miss the family?
Yes, very, very painful. Yeah, it's because I'm an only child as well, and I've got an exceptionally close relationship to my parents. So yeah, it's very difficult to be away from them. But they are hopefully going to be Shepparton residents in the not too near future. Yeah, so they've applied for a permanent visa off the back of mine. But it's just a very, very long wait, and then add COVID on top of that as well. So yeah, they're in limbo at the moment, but hopefully we'll get them here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got a strong relationship with your parents?
Oh, extremely. They're like, I know this sounds cheesy, but they're like my best friends. Like we talk all the time, and there's no kind of, yeah, I tell them everything. They're just amazing.
Thinking back on your childhood, what roles did they play? Like, was your dad a bit of a mentor for you, or was he a tyrannical father, or like, how did they help you develop into the person you've become?
Oh my goodness, what a question. Okay, so Dad is the lovable larrikin. Everybody loves my dad. He's just funny, so down to earth, warm, loving, just an amazing person. And he gave me kind of my inner strength and my inner fire to do things. And my mum they're like polar opposites. My mum is like the nurturing, gentle, kind. She's like the kindest person I know, and she defines being a mum. Like she's mum. She's just and she doesn't say a lot, but when she does, she has more wisdom than most people I know. Like it's just, she really grounds me, and as I was growing up, I always had that kind of inkling to travel because we always went on like family holidays around Europe, and when I was like 18, I wanted to come to Australia, and they said, you've got to do it, you've got to do it. Like never held me back, never told me that I had to get the career or I had to do things a certain way. They just, encouraged me to be who I was, and I, love them so much for that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel like what you just described is going to be the way that our generation of parents, like us as parents, will be towards our kids. But I feel like my parents growing up and my friends' parents growing up weren't like that. They were more like, get a stable job, follow the rules. It's cool that you had that. I reckon probably a generation earlier that will become the norm.
Absolutely. And it's so funny you say that, because all of my friends and like our close family all say the same. They're like, they're a special breed, those two. Like, you have hit the jackpot, and I really have. Like, they are so unique and so special. Like, just, I could go on all podcast about them. Oh dear.
No, great. So you started Muse Meditation.
Yes.
What does meditation mean to you?
Everything. I think for what it's done for me in my life, genuinely, I am so passionate. If I can give anything to anyone, it's to promote the benefits that it's given me, and to hope that it gives them the same. You know, like the self-awareness I've gained, like the good and the bad, you know, being really aware of your behaviours and your personality, you know, in different situations as well. Building that trusting relationship with yourself as well, and showing up, because it is a practice. It's not something that you do once and you've suddenly got, you know, all the benefits it has to offer. It's like going to the gym, you know, you can relate to this. Like, you don't just show up once and you're fit and you're toned and you've achieved all your fitness goals. You have to keep at it. And there's a quote that I love, is every time you show up for yourself, every time you don't do the thing that you said that you would do, you're showing yourself you don't trust yourself. And building that meditation practice is building that trusting relationship with yourself as well. And that has like massive knock-on effects in your life as well, like how you show up in other areas. And it's been so profound for me, for someone who has uprooted their life in England to move here. I didn't know anybody. All I knew was my husband and his friends and family. To build my confidence, like increase my creativity, to start Muse, for example. And I have so many words for it, what it means to me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Meditation used to seem like crossing your legs and getting in certain poses and stuff like that, but now I feel like it's the umbrella's widening, and a lot of things are considered meditation.
Absolutely.
But it seems so broad. Do you know what I mean? Like, just sitting here and coming back to myself, like trying to slow down my thoughts. That is meditation. Yeah. It's mindfulness meditation. So it's like in the moment. And, you know, one of the first meditations that I guide people through if they come to see me for a beginner session is the breathe and feel meditation, which is just simply being with your breath, being with your body in the present moment, and asking yourself, how am I feeling? Like, and it doesn't have to take, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes. You don't have to sit cross-legged with your arms wide open. It can be just simply checking in. And yeah, it's such an umbrella term now. You know, you can do walking meditations, dancing meditations, drawing meditations. There are so many different avenues you can take with it. And I think obviously the more you do it, the longer the meditations become, and the more you can experiment with different techniques as well. But yeah, if you're a beginner, just start with your breath, start with your body in the present moment. It doesn't have to be deeply profound every time you do it. What do you think the majority of people feel when they do that for the first time?
Oh, so much resistance. Yeah. Like,
in the form of?
I can't do it, like that mentality. I think because there's such an idea that when you meditate, you have to have zero thoughts. You can't move. You know, there's a resistance to even connecting with yourself. Like, what am I going to find when I do that? That's the biggest word that's come up this year when I've connected with people.
Yeah. Do you think it would be good if, instead of referring to it as meditation, it had got a new name? So it got away from that kind of closed mind thinking?
I think so. I mean, I think in a way it's becoming more popular. So the ideas are dissolving, those old ideas. But even just the term mindfulness, I think, has helped really in the last 20 years or so, just being mindful within your day and mindfully cooking dinner or mindfully listening to music when you're in your car. Like, it really breaks it down for people and it takes that pressure off. You know, it doesn't have to be 45 minutes and profound. It can be simple. And I think even it's underrated where, you know, connecting to your body as well, that body awareness, that body connection, inviting relaxation into your body, that doesn't have to be overwhelming or difficult. It could just be at the end of the day, noticing any tension and inviting in relaxation.
Yeah.
It can be quite simple.
Do you think that you're located in your heart or in your mind?
Great question. I'm very much in my head a lot, so another reason meditation helps me. But I have become more heart-led, so I'll tap into my intuition. If I feel like I'm a little bit busy in my mind, I'll come to my body, I'll connect with my heart space, and then I'll just ask intuitively what I need to know, what really matters to me in the present moment. So it's a battle, I'm not going to lie. Like, it's not like I've mastered it and I'm, you know, no longer having meditations where I'm not thinking. Mm-hmm. That's just be part of being a human being. But it's made me more conscious of being heart-led.
Yeah. It has to be, like, I feel like people pushing towards feeling more with your intuition, but it has to be a combination of intellect and intuition.
I think so, yeah. I think
you can't just go off your gut feeling all the time.
Or no. But when you're meditating, or when you're connecting to yourself, it's important, I think, to listen to your intuition, because the logical mind rules.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
Building that relationship with your intuition, because we're taught to seek external validation, we've constantly got distractions, you know, that can get our mind ticking, can get our logical mind going, or illogical, depending on where your thoughts are going. But tapping into your intuition and making that space to do that, I think that's when you have the most connection to yourself. Yeah.
So would you say a good time to start meditating is when somebody's living in their imagination? Or do you think that's important as well?
I think that's important as well. Like, my favourite type of meditation at the moment is visualization, and spending time thinking about what I want to call into my life, like, and tapping into the feelings that will give me if that happens. That's special, because your mind doesn't know the difference between a visualization and a real life event as well. So if you are spending some time with that and what you want to call in, you're already setting the bar for creating it in your life. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think a busy mind or a stressed mind, maybe, you know, like, it's important to explore meditation, definitely at the very least to welcome in some relaxation. But I encourage visualization when I guide people. I think it can be so beautiful.
What things are you visualizing for yourself?
Having a family next year, hopefully.
What does it look like?
It looks like my parents and healthy children in our back garden, and Bonnie's there, Michael's there, and I just really connect with the feeling and enjoy spending time there. Because I think if you're going to manifest or achieve whatever word you want to use, anything in your life, you need to really feel into the emotions that you want to feel once you've achieved it, because then you can reverse engineer from there. You can go, right, well, what action steps do I take in my daily life to then call that in as best I can. And look, my visualization might not be exactly what I'm seeing in my meditation in the end, but it's more about feeling into the feelings and ensuring that I'm doing everything I possibly can to make it happen.
So when you're in that meditation, it's the equivalent of how the experience would be in real life?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Because I think that's what you like. You're not striving for the goal, you're striving for the feeling that the goal will give you as well.
Can you speak on the journey? Because like visualization is good for the goal, but in terms of like those daily steps you do each day, can you elaborate on meditating and combining those two?
Yeah, sure. So I go back to the breathe and feel meditation, the beginner's one. Like you can start your day with that. It can be like 5-10 minutes, just checking in, see how you're feeling, setting an intention for the day, like just spending some time with yourself. And you know, you said before, it doesn't have to be necessarily meditation. You can just sit with a cup of tea or coffee in the morning and just really be with yourself, be with your breath, your body. What do I want to achieve? What do I want to call in the next 24 hours? Because that's all you've got really, the present moment, and taking action steps from there. And some days you might wake up and you go, I don't want to do anything today, and that's okay, that's fine. But it's just keeping up the practice of connecting with yourself to reverse engineer back from that feeling of the end result.
Do you think that could be dangerous though? Like if you had too many of those days where you're like, I don't feel like doing anything today, that would be counterproductive towards the progression of your life?
Possibly, depending on the person you are. But I think if you're already practicing meditation, just having that self-awareness and being on that journey, I suppose, you can call yourself out on those behaviours as well. I think awareness is everything for yourself.
Do you have somebody like my business partner's my accountability partner? So he calls me out sometimes when I'm falling into these situations where I'm not being the person I want to be. Do you have anything like that in your life, like a meditation accountability partner?
Michael, my husband.
Yeah.
Like he holds me accountable for most things in my life. You know, he'll just call me out on behaviour. He'll call me out on not doing things, you know, because I'm human as well. I get imposter syndrome with things like this, and that resistance to put myself out and be seen by other people. And he's like, just do it, just do it, believe in yourself. And he's really encouraging with it as well. So I'd say my husband.
Does he meditate himself?
He doesn't. He says fishing's his meditation. Just by fishing.
But
he's
it
calming
could be.
his mind. For sure. Yeah, and I laugh, but it's his way of clearing his mind and de-stressing. So he has tried meditation before, but he has a sore back, so he finds his resistance is within his body to sit or to lie down for a period of time without getting stiff or sore. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Could you think of any other words to describe mindfulness? Like other feelings that kind of could be associated with that? Because I think gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
when I hear that, and I think some people get a bit confused when you say mindfulness.
Yeah.
But I think like being grateful for the present moment, that would be a good way to describe it.
For sure. I mean, just present moment is where I went to first when you asked that question. Gratitude's just such a beautiful answer there. Like, I practice gratitude every day. And I was talking to a lady about this the other day. She said to me, do I need to write down what I'm grateful for, or can I just think about it? Of course you can just think about it. You can think about it in the car, when you're at the traffic lights, in the supermarket line. You know, you practicing gratitude and being present with that is so potent, for sure. And like I said, there's just examples, like you can cook mindfully, you can move your body mindfully, you can talk to people mindfully. All these experiences that you can create within your day-to-day. I think just being present.
Yeah. One of the reasons why I love these chats, well, I'll tell this in a story. I heard through the grapevine the other day that some people were talking about the podcast the other day, and they said, "Oh, what Harley's doing is really great with the podcast, but it's too bad he doesn't communicate like that in everyday life." But I've got a busy mind as well. But when I come in here, I listen contently to what the person's saying. It's hard to be present.
It is.
In everyday life.
It is. We've got different roles to play, different responsibilities. But ultimately, the responsibility to carve out that in your life is on you as well. So I say you as in everybody.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Can you elaborate on the benefits of meditation?
Yes. So there's the emotional benefits, that self-awareness, building that relationship with yourself, emotional regulation as well. And I think with self-awareness comes those lower vibrational emotions like we've experienced this year, like fear and sadness and grief, anxiety. They're all essential to being a human being. And I think the benefit of meditation is to realise that, you know, like they don't need to be. There's that book, The Happiness Trap. You've heard The Happiness Trap, where society promotes that we have to be happy and joyful and all the time. And I think that's inhumane, you know. And benefit of meditation is to sit with those lower vibrational emotions and move them through your body using your breath. That can be transmuted throughout your day into another activity, for example. And then you've got the body benefits, which is your nervous system calming down, your breath slowing and deepening, which is so powerful. Heart rate, all your bodily functions can regulate. You know, I often find that my beginners that come and see me for one-on-one sessions, I always follow up with them after a session and ask how they are, and they say, I had the best night's sleep last night just because I was so relaxed.
Yeah.
So that relaxation into the body. And then there's the soul benefits, the spiritual benefits. If you took that path, you know, that real deep connection to your higher self, and then you get the synchronicities that life can offer, that real connection to the universe, if you are that way inclined. The benefits are endless, Harvey. It's hard to summarise.
Yeah. Do you feel like how do I word this? The things, do you feel like the universe is in the sky or within us?
Both, yeah. I think, and that's another idea you can explore in meditation, is consciousness and that expansion and infinity and all those ideas and that's quite humbling as well, you know, when you are up in your mind and you think that all the problems in your life are everything, which, you know, it's not, there's no right or wrong there, but just that idea of something greater is really humbling and really grounding. And, you know, I always say, to gain some perspective, just go and lie under the stars at night and just look at the stars. It's so cliche, but it's so true. You know, like, it's that idea is just amazing. And then also, you know, that connection to yourself, everything you need is within you, so it's reversed as well.
Yeah. Have you spent any time meditating on the meaning of your life?
For sure, yeah, so many times.
What do you think your role is?
To lead a meaningful life, and that will look different every day. To find meaning in everything, like, just to be guided by my heart and to help others. That's so potent for me.
How long do you reckon you've been on this path for?
Where I've really stepped into it, I think the past 2 years, where I've really believed that this is right. And then prior to that, dabbling in and out with imposter syndrome and developing my own practice. Gosh, so many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything that thrust you into it?
I think just talking to people and having conversations where people didn't even know who they were, aside from the roles they are in their lives. Or, like, I remember asking the girls that I used to work with at my old job, what's your favourite thing about yourself? Like, what do you like about yourself? And they couldn't answer that question. And there are people that I've spoken to that have gone through some really hard times and been told by older generational family members, you just get on with it. You just toughen up and get on with it. And there was just never really that help and support and connection that they needed. And I, again, like imposter syndrome, I always say to myself, well, who am I to step up and be that person for people? But I really love holding that space for other people. I love connecting and talking about being a human being, you know, like, it's just so, it's really special. I find it really special.
Yeah, I love those sorts of conversations. When you ask somebody, what do you like about yourself? Do you tend to find people, when they do answer, they answer with something physical about themselves?
Yes.
Or more of a personality trait or an experience?
Always physical. It's always physical, which I then ask the question, well, what about your personality? And I'll push it further. Like you just said, you know, I'll say, well, what about your sense of humour or your kindness? Oh, yeah, that's just, yeah, didn't really think about that. And it's just, I love seeing that realisation and seeing that in people.
Yeah.
It's what I live for. I love moments like that.
Yeah. You see their mind expand. Like they realise that they're more than what they thought they were.
Yes.
In one question.
Yes, exactly. Like the penny drops and you've seen it.
Yeah.
And they're just it's just that moment, isn't it?
Yeah. What does the yin and the yang represent in meditation?
So, funnily enough, my logo is based on that idea. So, yin is the feminine energy. So every person has masculine and feminine energy, but the yin is the feminine energy. So it's a slow, intuitive, nurturing energy, and then the masculine is the doing, the achieving, the male energy. And exploring that in meditation on a person, firstly becoming aware of feminine and masculine energy, and then exploring that and being aware of where you operate from in a day-to-day, and asking whether that serves you or not. So if you're career orientated, you're obviously going to be in your masculine a lot of the time. You're going to be doing and achieving, but questioning perhaps, like, in your downtime, could I slow? Could I nurture? Could I be in my feminine more? Again, it's that self-inquiry, self-awareness, which that's a whole type of meditation in itself.
So in the masculine energy, there's a small ball of feminine energy. What does that represent?
Well, they're just essential to each other.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
One needs the other always.
Yeah.
I think.
I just watched a documentary on Netflix called Wild Wild Country.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I haven't.
There's this character, or not this, it's real life, not a character, but there's this guy, Rajneesh is his name, and he tries to fuse two different types of meditation. One where Western culture was becoming very materialistic, so like a lot of the people from the Eastern culture, they're all like, we don't want anything, like we just want to be ourselves, and then Western culture was like, these things are me, and he tried to bring these two things together, and that was his, like, he was a guru, well, that's what they called him. And anyway, that's beside the point. The meditation that he practiced was, and it sounds like I could see why it would work. I think you might be able to explain it to me. So what he would have you do is, I'm going to get these in the wrong order, but he would have you, I think, jump up and down erratically, like up and down, up and down, up and down, then yell whatever you wanted, and then put your hands up in the air, just like this, and then just sit in silence. And he got this huge following, humongous following doing this form of meditation. Do you think that would be an effective form of meditation? I
love that idea.
Yeah.
And because I'm a firm believer that emotions are energy in motion. So if you're not feeling or moving emotions through your body, whether that be through exercise or meditation, they become stuck. So I love that idea of, and I always say to my beginners as well, like, if you struggle to just sit in a space and try and meditate, move your body first, whether dance or jump up and down. Shake your body, shake your fingers and your toes before you sit.
Yeah.
And move that energy through you. If that will reduce restlessness or allow clarity or clearing the mind, then fantastic. I love that idea. Yeah. You made me want to watch that show now.
You'll have to have a look at it and tell me what you think, because it was so interesting. And he moved to America, and this was in 1980s. So a long time ago, and a lot of people weren't open to what he was doing, and they kicked him out.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they got him out of America, but it's
in
this
America
whole
too. Yeah. Oh, that's it. Gained popularity in America in the 70s through the psychedelic revolution. So all the psychedelic drugs got people to go inward, and it was this big kind of uproar where people who were taking psychedelic drugs, meditating, were then questioning all these social norms and like from older generations. And then there was the what's his name? Gone blank. Maharishi effect as well. So it's like transcendental meditation where it's 2 times a day for 20 minutes. You sit with a mantra, so sit with a word, and clear your mind, and that's what they practiced. And off the back of that, there were studies that showed that those who practiced that transcendental meditation, it helped reduce like crime rates and everything in America. So it's really interesting that, I mean, even now there's stigma against meditation, isn't there? So I guess it was just gaining momentum in the 70s. I was surprised when you said that.
Where was it before that?
So it's kind of a what came first, chicken or the egg scenario, but it was Buddhism and Hinduism, so India and China, that it originated from. And I mean, it's too simplistic to really just say Buddhism and Hinduism, because the different cultures are so complex and the different techniques are within that are so complex. But that's where it began thousands of years ago. Like, it got discovered from drawings on the wall, and there was these people who used to sit cross-legged with their eyes half open, and that was kind of the beginning of the discovery of it. It's just fascinating. And then I think that Eastern cultures began teaching in America in the 50s. Firstly, actually, in 1893. I'm just like pulling this from my studies. And then it like really gaining momentum in the 50s. That's when the transcendental meditation came in. Yeah.
Where do you reckon it will be in the future?
I mean, I think it's growing popular. I think because mental health is as well, like it's being spoken about so much more, given exposure so much more. And so many of my clients actually come to me and say, I experience anxiety and depression, or I've been going through a difficult time and my doctor's told me to meditate. So I think people are seeing the benefits or hearing about the benefits more and more. So I just really hope that it continues to gain popularity. And I love it when my clients actually tell me, I taught my child that meditation you taught me, and the difference was amazing. And I'm like, oh my God, my heart. It's just so special to pass it on to the younger generation, I think, and make it normal, make it not something that people question.
Yeah. When I think about Hinduism and Buddhism, I think that would have given those people a lot of purpose. Like, they would have lived for that.
Yes.
That's not what meditation is now.
No. Oh, certainly it's changed. And again, it goes back to what you said before, like, it's such an umbrella term.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. Like, because there's just thousands of techniques within different cultures. Like, every country in the world could probably say they practice a meditation meditation technique, or they've created some form of meditation practice. I mean, fishing could be fishing. I think it's got to the point where it's not a necessity, but people are seeing it as a real benefit to their life now.
What services do you offer?
So I do one-on-one sessions, and I can do them both in person now, yay, and online. And that's very tailored. So if somebody's not wanting to come and experience a group session, then they can come to me and I ask them prior what they would like to get out of it. So it'd be different situations, circumstances, and I'll create a session from there. So I'll include journaling as well, because I think journaling is another key tool that you can have and goes really good hand in hand with meditation. So I'll bring that into one-on-one sessions, and then I do like half day and full day workshops, same thing. So I'll include journaling, meditation, some movement, card pulls, all the fun stuff. I do corporate sessions, so sessions like lunchtime sessions for businesses, for their staff. Teachers, I've done a lot of sessions for teachers this year, because obviously I think they've got the worst job in the world this year. And more recently for students in schools as well, particularly those with high needs, mental health. And I did a session actually a couple of weeks ago for mental health advocates within a school. So what I guided them through, they then passed on to other students suffering with mental health, which makes me so happy that that's being talked about in schools as well. And then I do an introduction to journaling course, so a 6-week online program for those just wanting to explore journaling in their lives and not really knowing where to start. Because one of the biggest things that have come up from clients this year is the integration part. So they'll come to me for a session and then they won't go home and start to practice themselves. They won't carve the time and make the space within their home. So I'm really driven to bring that more into my sessions as well. Okay, let's really think about your schedule, for example, or the space within your home, so it gets them thinking about it before they've even left me to go home. So
can you think of a client? Do you refer to them as clients?
It's so tricky. I guess so. Yeah. I keep switching, but
I don't feel like it's the right word, but I can't think of a better one.
Yeah.
Can you think of a specific time where you've helped a client through meditation, like specifically?
Yes. Yeah. There's one that sticks out so strongly. It's a lady that came to me. She's in her 40s. She's a mother of 10 children and has been for the past 7 years of her life. And she came to me and said, my youngest goes to school. She's now at school, so next year. Mm-hmm. I don't know who I am other than being a mum. And because she was spending so much time at home, she didn't get out and meet people. She had no working experience, no qualifications, and she did 12 sessions with me. And really, I just love her because she showed up. She really dug deep and explored all the different techniques that we did together and got some beautiful insights from her intuition. And she's now got a job. She's nearly completed a qualification and she meditates every day with 10 children.
How awesome.
Yeah. And that lights me up like you wouldn't believe. Like, that's what I do it for.
Yeah. Is it, what's the end goal for Muse Meditation?
Great question. I think I'm just going to continue developing myself and my practice. I can't see a clear picture, and I'm really excited by that because it means it can go anywhere. And what I learn next week, next month, in 6 months could really shape where I take it. I just don't know. And I'm okay with that. I love that, because that feeling of expansion is there, and it means that anything can happen. And I love that.
It feels like you're on an adventure.
Such an adventure, yeah. Yeah, continually learning as well. Like, I'm always learning. I always want to learn.
Do you feel like humans are insatiable? And what I mean by that is you're always on an adventure. Like when I arrive to whatever I'm getting to, I'm off to something else.
Yes. Depends on your mindset. I definitely feel that way. I think, like, what will today bring? That thought and that feeling of opportunity, or, you know, even just a meaningful conversation at the coffee shop with somebody, like, that can be really beautiful, can't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think everybody feels that way, but I hope that for everybody.
Great. I have one more question for you,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was hoping you'd be able to take us through a quick meditation.
Yep. Sure.
Cool. So last question, who locally inspires you?
Okay. I'm going to say my husband, Michael, because he works so hard, like the hardest working person I know, and he's in a pretty thankless job. Like, he's a lawyer, a director of a law firm in Shep, and he does so much. He goes above and beyond for his clients and the business and for the community, and yeah, he's so hardworking. And even at the end of that, like, he encourages me and supports me and supports everybody, really. He really shows up for everybody in his life, and I love that. Like, he's amazing. And then otherwise, I really wanted to speak on the people that have shown up for Muse events or the courses or the sessions this year, particularly in their early to mid-20s, because their willingness to develop themselves and go within and not shy away from the shadow side and really wanting to improve themselves and their life, like, that has blown me away, because I didn't have half of that self-awareness at that age. And that just, how exciting is that, to think of that? Like, there are young people really striving to connect with themselves.
Yeah.
I love that.
Good answer. Do you want to explain what we're going to do?
Yeah, sure.
Yep, cool.
So I've spoken about it a couple of times. It's just the breathe and feel meditation that I guide people through if you come to see me for a one-on-one session. And I'm going to do a shorter version, just 5 minutes. And it's just simply going to connect to your breath and with how you're feeling in the present moment. And before I start, just to say that, you know, you can do this wherever. You can self-guide. You don't need to be guided through this. And as long as you're connecting to yourself and being with wherever you're at, this will help.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Are you going to do it too?
Yeah, I'll do it. I love doing this stuff.
Okay. Just gently closing down your eyes. And just sensing the space that you're in. Beginning to breathe deeply in through your nose. Exhaling, welcoming in relaxation into your body. Breathing in through the nose and noticing the cool air hit the back of your throat. Exhaling deeply and completely. Just spend some time taking care of your breath, just noticing its rhythm. Noticing how your body moves as you inhale and exhale. Just noticing any thoughts that may be popping in without any judgment. Just witnessing them. Coming back to your breath. Bringing awareness to your head as you breathe. Noticing any sensations in your temples, any tension behind your eyes, in your jaw. And just using your exhale to soften. Become heavier. Breathing into your heart center. If it helps, you can place a hand on your heart as you breathe. Just spend a few breaths here. Connecting completely within and simply asking yourself, how do I feel in the present moment? You may wish to name the emotion or feeling in your mind without any attachment to a story. Just simply breathing and feeling. Taking a nice big deep breath in through your nose. Keeping your eyes closed and just noticing how your body is supported by the ground beneath you. Breathing in, noticing any sounds that you can hear, both near and far. Allow your senses to come alive in the present moment. Connecting with your body as you exhale, allowing any stretch, any wiggle of your fingers and your toes coming back into the room. Allowing your breath to return to its normal rhythm. And gently opening your eyes.
Wow. Wow.
You feel a shift in your energy?
Yeah, that was something. I think,
So simple, isn't it?
yes. I've done those before via YouTube clips, but it wasn't like that.
Oh, thank you.
Everything that you said, like, it made me aware of, like, what you were stating.
The tension behind your eyes, that gets everyone.
The breath on the back of my throat.
Things we don't notice throughout the day, you know. Even the deep breathing, we're always shallow breathing.
Yeah.
To take a conscious effort to take a deep breath, like before we get to the point where we need to, you know, like if you're stressed, just doing it for the sake of it, you know, just bringing that awareness is amazing.
Yeah, that was something. Definitely recommend. You have to try that. I reckon you have to try it with the headphones because it was like you were speaking straight into my mind.
Oh, wow.
Alright, awesome, Cheryl. Is there anything you want to leave the Shepherd in public with?
Oh, goodness. Start meditating.
Thank you very much.